So I had kind of a weird day yesterday. Yesterday was my birthday. It was a good day overall. It was just in the morning I got a random message on Instagram, and it was basically saying like, "Hey, I just want to do a reading for you. I'm getting an energy from you." And I know a scam when I see one, but I mean, it was a day where I'd made some major life choices. It was my birthday, and I was like, yeah, I'm interested. Caught me on a weird day, so let's hear it, kind of thing. And then they followed up and said, the universe has a message for you. And that, I was immediately drawn in by that, because I've used that phrasing and terminology a lot, that I feel like the universe is trying to send me a message. I feel like that a lot of weird things are happening, and I wanted some answers, even though I did feel like I was on the right path. I had always been looking for signs that I was on the right path and doing the right thing. And the person followed up and was very specific and said, a witch put a curse on you. And to a normal person, that would sound absolutely insane. But if you know anything about me and my life is not normal. And the second she said it, it made complete sense to me, surprisingly. Enough to where I immediately texted my sister and my mother, and they knew exactly what I was talking about. Nobody thought I was crazy. So that's how insane that my family is that something like that doesn't surprise them, and that it makes sense. Whether or not I believe in the mystical part of witchcraft, or the actual powers of somebody who claims to practice witchcraft, I do have it in my family. My stepmother, my father from time to time practiced it, and my grandmother, and I'm sure they passed it on to their children as well. And one thing I know from experience, from firsthand account, from being a firsthand witness, is that they did not always use these things for good. They typically were not for good, actually. It was either spells to get some kind of money, or spells to use against people. I never took it serious, and I was kind of, just ignored it. Never affected me. But the second they said that, I knew that, number one, my family is vindictive enough that, because I haven't spoken to them in about 15 years, because they're not good people, that they would use this magic for evil. And I've had a heavy weight following me around all this time, and I knew that there had to be something to explain it. And whether it's mystical or psychological, which probably psychological, they have had a hold over me, and they've had a dark cloud over me. And it's definitely something I've had to spend a lot of time breaking free of, not only just forgiving them, but moving on, realizing that the cloud that's following me over my head shouldn't affect me, and that I'm responsible for the choices that I make. I'm responsible for the life that I make, and I can't blame anybody else if my life's not going well. And it seemed to be the day that if she had some kind of weird spell or hold over me, that it lifted. So I took this message as just that, a message saying that was the answer you've been looking for, and she took it to mean I am on the right path. Of course, the anxious part of my brain says, well, now you have to start figuring out what you're going to do about this information. And the normal response would be to retaliate, to get mad, get angry, to cuss them out, to hold a grudge or whatever. And honestly, that would just mean that I've learned nothing so far. And a second thought, of course, my sister is my partner in crime, and she's like, we're going to learn some spells. We're going to learn how to break this ourselves. We're going to learn how to cleanse it yourself. You need to go buy sage. And honestly, just because me and my sister are the people that we are, we'll probably end up doing something like that just for the fun of it. But in the meantime, I've been thinking about what it is I need to do to protect the happiness that I have, and to maintain this level of production, and move forward continuously. And this is what I came up with. Me and my daughter have been doing a lot of art recently. We've been doing a lot of art together. So we decided this room, as soon as you walk into my new apartment, there's just a washer and dryer here, and then there's nothing else in this room. So we turned it into an art studio, and we've been, the entire time she was here, we were painting. And you know, these are my forms of protection. These are, as soon as you walk into my house now, these are the things that you see. And as we continue to paint, create, and build this life together, this is what we're gonna do. And this is gonna maintain an art studio, and it's the first thing you see when you come into my house. And anything that's trying to bring me down or bring my daughter down is gonna have to come through this first. So I just thought it was an appropriate way to respond to a ridiculous scenario. I know, trust me, I know how crazy this sounds, but if you knew anything about my family, you would understand.
I put a spell on you because you're mine. You better stop the things you do. I tell you